Through this is Dr. Brad Schwall from the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology. Good morning to you, Dr. Schwall.
Good morning.
So, I said this morning on Daybreak. I'm really glad I'm not a parent right now because there's a lot to dive through when you're considering this decision. But when you're considering any decision, what is the best way to problem solve or to make a decision? Like, what does that look like? Is it a family meeting? Is it talk to your pediatrician? Is it, talk to your school district? What does that look like?
Right. I think you're right. You're talking about getting feedback. Some factors to consider would be your child's temperament. So certainly your child's physical health is key, but we're also looking at your child's temperament. Even if your child is going back to school, school anxiety is a real thing, and even in the upper grades. So we want to prepare our children for what to expect and then help them adapt. So the issue with our child's temperament is understanding what are they going to be able to handle. We're also looking at family finances, supervision at the home if you're choosing online school. You're also thinking about your child's development. So if guidelines are followed, it is important for our kids to be around their peers and to have that social interaction. So look at the variables based on your child, your family situation, and then I think you're right. Get feedback from a counselor, get feedback from your school, your pediatrician.
Well, I mean, and then I think, right, from a health reporter standpoint, there will certainly be parents who go, you know what, nope. Bobby, you're not going back to school. And then you've got a kid going, well, why does Billy get to go back and Jeff gets to go back and Stephen gets to go back? So what do you do in that case? I mean, thinking through, of course, not judging other people's decisions, but the kid is going to be like, why do all these people get to do it and not me?
Right, and that happens in parenting often. And I think it is all about conversations that are age appropriate based on the development of your child. Certainly older children are going to have more of a discussion. I think bottom line, we're validating, and you always hear me say this, we're validating to our children that nothing is like what we are used to. And so if our kids are comparing their experience to others, we validate that. But then we also do our best with the information that we have to make a decision that is safest for our child. And then we are able to let our child know that we have considered all of those factors.
You know, and I appreciate how much we spend time talking about parents and students, but what about the teachers? Because you talk about anxiety amongst children going back. I mean, what about these teachers?
Yes, the teachers are having to do so much to prepare, so many different factors to consider, having to teach children the importance of hygiene. There's going to be new procedures in place. So we for sure need to be empathic for what our teachers and faculty are going through, support them, be positive, because they are having to adapt so much to keep our kids safe. So again, we're doing our best to follow guidelines now so that we don't go back and then have to go back to shelter in place, prepare our kids, help them know what to expect, and then we're going to have to adapt. And all the while, validate with our kids, provide extra support for your kids if they deal with anxiety. So our therapists at the center often deal with anxiety in kids. So pay special attention, close attention to your kids, gauge where they are to help them in this process. Right now, getting back to summer activities, help them know what to expect. It's going to be different. Socialization is important, but so is health and safety. We're just in a place where we have to balance it all.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be okay, great, the kids are back at school, I'm dumping them off, and then that's all I have to worry about. But I like that message of empathy and certainly patience as we all navigate whatever happens. Dr. Schwall, thank you as always.
Thank you.
All right.